Good afternoon, good morning, good night, wherever you are. Titled this live, First Million in Sales. Just want to really just talk about our story. And, if anyone can relate, hopefully you can get some gems, get some ideas. I can't say I take credit for the things that we've been able to accomplish, but rather there's a lot of people that, I've surrounded myself by, a lot of phone calls, a whole lot of, just investing in myself, investing in team. So let's start. So back in the days, I worked in retail. And I was always interested in brand, because really the way things were set up, and I hope you can hear me, really the way things were set up, you were a brand or you were a store, meaning like you sold your own stuff or you sold other designer stuff. So I started off in that world, and I got some experience working right on the sales floor, learning from, the customers walking in the stores. And, once I got a little bit of experience with that, I started moving up, and, I became a key holder, and then eventually, I was even helping out with some buying. And I think that was all I really knew, was just selling, but fast forward, it kind of came down to, what other industries are there, what don't I know? And that's where I started looking into how can I get a bird's eye view of the economy and see, a lot of different businesses, a lot of different, personality types, a lot of different ways of, accomplishing a goal. And so I ended up working at a bank for 6.5 years. And so in that time, I learned a lot about kind of the inner workings, I would say, of a brand or a company, because these are my clients. I would help them with, cash flow. I was an analyst, so I would help with treasury services. I would help with, finding ways to save them money, really. Like if they were already spending, let's say, $50,000 a year on some type of service or some type of, thing that was causing fees or interest, I would help them with maybe a product that we were selling at the time that was like $15,000, so that was immediately like a savings of like $35,000 or something, and we would do this across like multiple industries. Like one of my clients, I was actually able to see like a cool write-up that hit the news that was like, because of the work that we did, they ended up saving something like $500,000 because it was a big program. And, I just had a lot of experiences kind of like working in 8 out of 10 lines of business. So I worked in sales, marketing, wealth management, all these like parts of the business that, if you think about it, any business can get like those lines of business touch any business, if that makes sense. If you are, like if you're a gardener, you probably need like a loan to expand, or you need a bank account to put funds in, or, once you're making funds, you need like a department to help you invest those funds so that you get a good return on it. So I got to kind of see all those different aspects. Fast forward, I'll never forget, I was I had this opportunity to do like a job shadowing, and this gentleman, he came up to me and he told me about this program that he had gone through, and it was the MBA program. It was an executive MBA program that, well, actually he did like a flex program, which basically meant, I think the difference was he was able to go only during the week, and I don't think there was any weekend involvement. But for what I would actually end up doing, I did executive MBA, which that was a little bit of during the week and then a little bit of weekend, mostly like Friday, Saturday situation. So did that, and here's where like faith comes in, because when I was working to get like admitted, I didn't really have the grades, y'all. I'm gonna tell you that I did not have the grades. I think I've always been more hands-on. Like I like education, but I'm not like, I wasn't really investing in the courses to learn how to test take and how to score, on standardized tests and learn all the hacks. And there's always a hack. There's always a shortcut, and I still, despite that, I was able to get in. And so now the trick is I had to pay for it. That's the next trick. So, first trick is get in. Second trick is how do you pay for this, enormous thing? Because this program is like 6 figures, y'all. This is a big investment. And in addition to the investment in the program, you got to invest in just the time. You got to find time to be out of the office, to be in an environment, to be in a mental state. We would always talk about like switching costs of like switching tasks from driving to the program, and then getting to the program, and then basically like having to decompress for 20 minutes, because a lot of people drove in. You had people driving in from Washington, D.C. You had people driving in from Virginia Beach. We even had a professor. He would fly in. He flew in from like, don't quote me, but I think he was flying in from Princeton every week to teach us, and he lived up there. Excuse me. He taught us angel investing and venture capital, or no, he taught us private equity and venture capital. So that experience, again, I had to pay for it. So like, how am I going to pay for it? Well, I'm the type of person that, I'm gonna put in the work, even if it's not like paying off right then. So what I did was I used to raise my hand for extra credit, like at my job. So I would, if there was like an employee resource group, ERG for short, I was the one that would take on the task of sending out the newsletter that would go out monthly. I would organize the pictures, organize the statistics, or if there was a talk that was needed, like someone had to get on stage and address 500 employees, like I would raise my hand and I would get up there and I would give the statistics, and I was the one that was, adding value by becoming a better public speaker by, enrolling in Toastmasters. And, I was the one that was getting out in the community. I actually just posted a Flashback Friday picture of it. You can probably check it on my feed. I don't know if I added it here on Instagram or if I did it on LinkedIn. I think I did it on LinkedIn. I don't think I did it here on Instagram. But I would jump on and I would basically take, I lost my train of thought, but what I was saying is, as a result, I had to pay for this thing. So these are all the things that I was doing. That's what I was talking about. These are all the things that I was doing. I had to, I basically had to come up with these funds. And all the while I was like building up all this kind of like equity, and it was goodwill. It's like if you do something good for somebody, or if you help somebody, it's not like it goes unnoticed. You may not get the return right then, but eventually it will return to you. So I would do this like extra credit, and what it did for me was it helped me kind of figure out, okay, I've got this, I've got this like network built out at this point. And I'll never forget, I spent time, I lived in Virginia, so I would get on a plane and I would go to New York where, the big boss was, and he was really cool. He would come to Virginia sometime, and I would just try my best to make a good impression on him, and all of my supervisors and stuff, so that's another thing. It's like, if you're working somewhere, try to have a good attitude to the people that you report to the people you work with, because you never really know like how, like, life is kind of funny, you never know how things can be at a later date. And I saw that a lot at the bank too. That taught me like, man, you never really know, like, honestly, because you, like, one day you're managing a team, and then the next day someone on your team might be your manager. Like, it's literally that crazy with all the, reorganizations, restructures, companies being bought and sold, all this stuff. So how did I fund it? Somehow I was able to find a loose business plan template for like sponsorship and planning. And, I was able to take basically my life experience to that point and kind of, create this plan, which, gosh, I wish I still had that plan just to be able to look at it, and it's possible it's somewhere like in one of my old emails. I gotta see if I can dig that up. That would be really cool to find it. That thing was like 30 pages, and it was like the business plan of me, as a personal brand. Like, this is what I'm going to invest in as far as education. Here's a potential return. And it wasn't that like, if I didn't do that, would I have still gotten sponsored? Maybe. But the idea is, it made me think critically about what I really wanted to do and be really, really clear. And then it, kind of also just gave me that extra boost of, like, confidence to be able to like kind of pitch and say, all right, this is something that I want to do. Will you support it? And, I kind of like, I had a little bit of time, but not a lot of time. I had a little bit of time because I got admitted. Gosh, that might have been like fall 2012 maybe. And then, the program was like starting maybe spring 2013, which means like January-ish. And, I just took that, once I had that yes, then it was like time to go. And I had to keep and maintain like I think I had to maintain a 3.0 in order to be able to do it. And I mean, it all really like, it just worked out. It worked out perfect. Like, I was able to, basically take the time away from the office. I was able to network, went to, 4 or 5 cities, internationally, like 3 different countries maybe. We went to China, we went to Greece, we went to Spain, and, I got to kind of go behind the scenes at a lot of these different businesses, which was, kind of like invaluable, because you got to like sit there with these people that were very experienced and kind of like be in the room. And, you know, it's just like the investment was like worth every penny of it, and all the, you know, kind of like hard work that it took to even be able to get the sponsorship was all worth it. Let's see, I got like 5 minutes before my next call. You know, maybe I'll come back on here, but I do want to say that if you see this and, you know, you have a brand, product, or service, and you're looking for help, you know, if you need, you know, you feel like you're missing a piece, or, you know, if you want to just get around other entrepreneurs and other people in a community that are looking to do the same thing, you know, a lot of times, you know, you may be misunderstood by your friends, you may be misunderstood by your family or your coworkers, but what we've done is we put together a community that, you know, we can all come together and we can grow, we can learn, read books, you know, just develop personal development, and to grow our businesses, grow our sales, grow our impact. So if you're interested, there's a link in the bio and you can apply. And I'm going to do something really, like I say, you know, it's all about like giving. So normally, you know, I've got this thing, it's 12 weeks, you know, we get together weekly and there's a course that comes with it. But if you want to get in like now, like as a founding member of it, because this is all new and I'm still building out the complete course, shoot me a DM, or you can just complete the registration and, you know, get on a call, and either myself or someone on my team will jump on just to confirm you're a good fit. But, you know, we're trying to get as many testimonials as possible. You know, we want to really help people get to the next level. So I would encourage you, you know, if you feel stuck, or if you feel like, you know, you just need like support, you know, get in touch with us so that we can, you know, get you in the program. We're going to it's starting this week. So the first call is this Friday, 10 Pacific, 1 Eastern. Once you register, you'll get a Zoom link, and you'll also get access to resources and to the course content that's getting built out. And, you know, we're going to start doing, you know, just the work. So I would say reach out, you know, get in touch, links in the bio. And I might come back on here because this went really fast. I thought I might be able to do more, but I mean, I covered a lot of the story to the first $1 million in sales, but it is, that's not even like, that doesn't even really count the part of like the products or anything. This is like the setup before the setup. So definitely follow here for more information and to, you know, catch more of the story, and, you know, hopefully you can find a little bit of inspiration, and you can go out and you can do your thing and you can be great. So I hope you have a great day.